Well, it's Disneyland news time. Are you as ready as we are to talk all things Disney parks, all things West Coast Disneyland? You know, usually when we do this thing, it's all about focusing on the stories in and around Disneyland potentially reopening or announcements of reopening. It has now happened. Disneyland Park officially reopened. If you're somebody that joins us on social media, you'll know that we were there covering it yesterday. All kinds of great moments in which to have shared with you, and we are so pleased to have been a part of opening day. And now at California Adventure Park, our own Tyler Crouch and Katrina Manzone are standing by, hanging out to share with us a couple of things about opening day and sort of what they saw, what they experienced. Hey gang, how you two doing?
Hey guys, good to see you.
A bear.
Let us first acknowledge the space mask that you're wearing, part of the new series line that is rolling out for Disneyland's official reopening. It looks like the magic is back.
The magic is back. Sorry, this is the first. We need to get a wireless one of these, I think.
Yeah, you do.
The magic is definitely back. We're so happy to be here. The most fun thing so far has honestly been seeing just how happy the cast members are too, and it's just been a pleasure to be around guests and cast members alike. Everybody's just excited to be here. It's been a really fun time.
I can only imagine, especially having been there on opening day, feeling that excitement, feeling that anticipation to be back for the first time in over a year. For anybody that does follow our social media, we definitely caught Katrina in sobbing tears of joy.
Yeah. It was. I wasn't really. I was expecting to cry, but I wasn't expecting to cry. Because it was just like a lot getting in, and then you're like looking at the train leaving, and you're like, well, this is like the perfect entrance, you know, like the train's there, everybody's getting excited. And then as we were like turning around by like the Emporium, because we entered in on the left, so we like turned by the Emporium, and then you're like, how am I going to react seeing the castle? But then as soon as you like notice, you see like all these leads, cast members lining up down Main Street, and I think that's what got me first, because just to see all these like beautiful faces just waving at you, and then as you're like turning, and then you notice the castle, and then we're like walking closer and closer, and then I just got like overwhelmed with emotion, just started bawling, and I couldn't handle it, and I couldn't even talk. I was trying to like say something as I was walking to see the castle, but I was like sobbing. I was a sobbing mess. But other than that, it was just, I think like seeing the cast members and the cast members seeing me cry, and then they started tearing up. Then I started tearing up even more, seeing them tear up. It was just a huge thing. But it was great to say welcome back to them too, because some of their reactions were so genuine and like catching them off guard, because they're so used to like saying welcome back to you.
Yeah.
And then when you actually say welcome back to them, they were just like, oh yes, thank you. So it was great.
What a great day to have scored a reservation to be there. I mean, so many people were excited to be a part of this 25% capacity that was being allowed to be there on opening day, you know, for Disneyland and California Adventure to reopen. And to know that you guys were able to score the reservation to be there, experience that all firsthand. We understand that both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek were there, experiencing all the Bobs. Double the Bobs, double the fun.
Yes.
That's what we like to say. Unless
all the Bobs.
Yeah, both Bobs, yeah. One's bald, one's not. Go Bobs. That's what we like. A lot of alliteration here. But tell me, when it comes to the things that you have seen so far, immediate changes that you noticed from arrival to your park day, what sort of things did you come across that are notable?
I mean, I think the big obvious one is just how spaced apart everybody is. And I mean, clearly that's like a no-brainer, but it just makes it look like at a certain, and this happens in Disney World too, but it really just makes it look like you look at a line and be like, ooh, there's a lot of people in that line, but then you get in the line and you realize quickly that it's really not that big of a line at all, and they all move quickly, and I'm kind of like looking around and being like, FastPass is bad. Like, FastPass just seems like it really slows everything down, and maybe it's time to not have that anymore. But that's kind of the number one thing I've noticed is just how everybody is just following the rules, spreading apart, but that also makes it look more crowded than it actually is. So I don't know. It's been just a very interesting experience coming back and seeing that for the most part, I feel like they are handling it in a very similar way that they did at Disney World.
Wow.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Any big changes you noticed, Katrina? Anything out of the ordinary, like specific to Disneyland that might be a little different?
No. I'm like trying to rack my brain about it, and I guess the lines are like the only thing that's like really different. I mean, the queue to get into Rise of the Resistance was actually different, way different, which I loved. So I guess I'll call that.
They brought us in through their like kind of side line where
it would have been for
like
Fast Pass. Like it's where like I think like disability and Fast Pass would be, and so that's how they cut it. If you want us to get into it, they cut out Ray's scene, so no Ray talking. That's how they were able to cut down like the length.
Yeah.
And then honestly, walking in, because you see like the queue, and you're like, and it's all outside. You're like, oh man, if it's outside and there's a queue inside, this is gonna be a long wait. But honestly, it didn't really take that long. We got inside, then they took us that other route, and boom, we were there. We were already getting captured by the first order, and I was like, oh, we didn't even have a moment.
Yeah, it was actually kind of neat in a way, because we did. You felt like you were like rushing in. They were like, come on, the plane's taking off. We gotta go, and we were like, oh gosh, let's go. We're going. So
keep
that was
it
a lot of
moving.
fun. Yeah.
We continue to hear that everything just looks and feels so pristine. Is that the case? I mean, at least from images and things that you guys were sharing yesterday, it sure looked like everything was just extra polished.
Yeah, no, definitely extra polished. Right?
Beautiful.
I think that they have been spending a lot of time kind of touching things up here and there. I mean, for those that don't know, on a regular basis, basically every single night when Disneyland used to close, a bunch of little workers would come out and start, making everything look beautiful. And obviously with the whole 14 months of closure, they had a lot of time to work on certain things. And you're looking at the carousel right now, and that was one of those things that they definitely spent a lot of time on. The whole thing has been refurbished. It looks beautiful. The tarp on top is brand new. And it really is just gorgeous being in Fantasyland right now. And especially with the new paint job on Snow White's Enchanted Wish as well. So it really feels a lot more vibrant and colorful over in Fantasyland especially. And I think that it goes out and spreads throughout the park as well. So it's been lovely to be back. We honestly feel like we've missed it so much and it's been so long, but then we also feel like we haven't left at all. It's just like another day. So
a place that feels like home, that's for sure. And everything just popping and looking so beautiful and pristine. And certainly a lot of the cast members that work within the park environments, I know, were just as excited to get the guests back into the parks and to be able to do what they do best, and that of course is make their magic. Anything else worth noting from around your park experience yesterday? It did look like around 1 p.m. I think Tyler, you posted something at around 1 p.m. a lot of things started to change.
That's definitely true. So basically the rules for park hopping right now are, if you get that park hopper ticket and the capacity is all right, which I don't think it's ever been bad. Even in Disney World, I don't think they've ever stopped anybody from park hopping at this point. But at 1 p.m. they let you go over to the other park, right? So we were in Main Street around 1 p.m. and you could definitely tell there was a lot of people from California Adventure coming into the park. And not only could you tell that on Main Street, but then there was a line like Indiana Jones, I believe, was around 20 minutes. And then we went and got a little bit of food and came back to Indiana Jones at around 1:30, and then it was like 45 minutes. So
that was our mistake.
Yeah, that was a mistake. So be prepared. Like, I feel like the best time to go on some of the bigger rides is later in the day, but before 1, right? So go, around noon or something. You want to go on the important stuff like Snow White or Indiana Jones, because that's when the lines kind of seem the shortest for those kind of attractions that everybody wants to do. Even this morning we went over to Radiator Springs Racers and the line was about 50 minutes, and we're guessing if we walk over there now it's probably going to be shorter. It did break down though, so maybe that's not going to work out for us. But
Well, it sounds like
Yeah.
some things never change. Wow.
yeah, I know. Right? Yeah, I will say too, another thing that we've noticed about the mobile order
Uh-huh.
is I feel like they've taught everybody now, like with Touch of Disney, like to use the mobile order on a regular basis. And it even says on the app, do you want to save some time? Do mobile order.
Mm.
Well, we've kind of discovered that not only are the times pretty far out on a lot of these mobile orders, but also when your window is actually up, you can press the button and it'll take you quite a while for your food to come. So what we've realized actually is mobile order is the slow thing right now. And you just, if you, like yesterday we went to Jolly Holiday, we wouldn't have been able to eat until an hour and a half later, but we just walked up to Jolly Holiday. There was literally nobody there, and we got the sandwich in 5 minutes.
Can you imagine walking in a
Wow.
Jolly Holiday and not seeing a single person
No.
standing in there?
No, I
like,
cannot.
It was just us. I was like, oh, did you guys just open?
Did you have any
Amazing.
food-related questions? You sounded very excited
Yes,
about that, Sabina.
I love Jolly Holiday as a fellow gluten-free diet person. What has been your experience of finding food and finding snacks?
So snacks today have been kind of a challenge in DCA. Usually I'm used to having like fruit parts and stuff just to get like a nice healthy snack. There are none. Then
No.
if you really want like so snacks are really hard because if you want popcorn or something, you can totally get popcorn. But if you want like a full on like food, it's manageable. Like there's like Cocina, there's Flo's, there's like all those places in DCA. So and there's an allergy menu. So if you go on like mobile order, they also have an allergy menu that you can choose from, which is nice. In Disneyland, I thought it was actually pretty nice. They were able to, like with Jolly Holiday, there was, a whole bunch of like gluten-free sandwiches, and they had, the gluten-free cookie that everybody loves. They have the brownie. They had like a muffin. And I was like, do I want all of these? Yes, probably.
Of course.
Yes. But then I like had to like talk myself out of it. But so far it hasn't been like, again, we have to kind of like come in knowing that they've changed a lot of stuff. I'm going to try to figure out Cafe Orleans because I have a reservation there in a couple weeks. So I will be emailing out the allergy email to see if I can get a gluten-free Monte Cristo.
Yes,
So
that'd be amazing.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Num nums and the yum yums. My goodness.
Man.
Well,
I
how
can't
delightful.
wait. It's super good.
You know what? I can't imagine, especially now knowing that, so few dining options are online with this reopening, how much more difficult that might be for people that could, have your various allergies, because there are a lot of allergies out there right now. Disney always star performer when it comes to accommodating allergies, of course, so there's always something at least, but we appreciate that recap. We'll be checking back in with you guys a little bit later on, but thank you so much for allowing us to pick your brain a little bit about reopening day.
Yeah.
Of
It's been
course.
a pleasure.
Yes, talk to you soon. Yay.
All right.
See
Bye,
you
guys.
real soon. Now, from the good news, we do transition to a little bit of the unfortunate news, and that is the analyst estimation of what the Disneyland Resort will have lost during this whole pandemic period, and it is a heck of a number. Unfortunately, it turns out that the Disneyland Resort does face a $4 billion revenue loss as a result of the 13-month pandemic closure of the Disney theme parks and hotels at the Anaheim tourist destination, according to the Orange County Register. The Disneyland Resort has lost an estimated $4.3 billion, to be exact, in revenue during the 412-day closure of the Anaheim theme parks, according to Moffett Nathanson, a founding partner Michael Nathanson, excuse me. And you see a quote here from the mayor of Anaheim, Harry Sidhu. He says that this is a monumental day for Anaheim. We have all missed the joy of Disneyland, and we're so glad to have that back. But this means so much more to working families, small businesses, and our city. The impact of having theme parks closed for more than 13 months due to the pandemic has been devastating. This begins our economic recovery and brings hope back to Anaheim. I know that Mayor Sidhu was standing on the rooftop, literally, of a hotel near the theme parks here a couple months back, just pleading for help, saying that this whole area has been ravaged. This whole area has been just destroyed. The whole resort district has been destroyed. These local businesses, hotels, restaurants, they only really exist to serve the tourist population going to Disneyland. A lot of folks in Anaheim don't go down, to the resort district to have dinner unless there's some sort of special occasion. So a lot of big loss over the course of the last year. Finally, a hopeful tone while we see these theme parks reopen, but at the same time, Sabina, the devastation of knowing all this money loss left in the wake, all of this devastation when it comes to jobs lost, over 30,000 Disney Parks cast members who've lost their jobs in this process. Hard to hear because it's the reality slapping us back in the face of, this reopening also comes at a cost.
No, definitely. I think in 2019 and before, we had this sort of idea of like the Disneyland Resort and the like neighboring hotels over there kind of having more of a, I don't know if the word would be disjointed relationship, but there was a definite sense of things were operating very separately, though, for the same ultimate goal to just continue to cultivate the city of Anaheim and the state of tourism in SoCal. And unfortunately, one of the most tragic parts of what happened last year was just this complete loss of work and sustainability for an entire city of people and workers that just in a company, that is a huge presence in Southern California, just completely just showed that, like no one is safe in regards to like big global events. And one of the things that really made me think that things will be turning around is the whole concept for the DisneylandForward Project, because that put an emphasis on a relationship that I think we hadn't really seen before, in that Disney proposed to not, as many would assume, buy off all the places around the land and the resort, but instead, pivot and say, we want to support the economy and the local businesses by partnering up in new ways. And I think that honestly, that is a really good first step to kind of forge these relationships through unity and support everyone who has suffered such an immense loss in the area, and hopefully create new ways and new job opportunities for more people to come and start the road to recovery.
Big time. And excellent points there. You're absolutely right. And now it seems as though there's a much better relationship between the city itself and Disney overall. I think this entire experience has been quite humbling to everyone, and you're absolutely right when you say that this is the type of thing that spared no one in the process, spared no major corporation, spared no city, no matter how powerful you think you are.
Exactly.
This pandemic brought everybody to their knees. So terrific news to see that the Anaheim Resort District is officially reopening. Things are back on track. Theme parks are back in action, and we're seeing so much in terms of lots of growth and interest of people getting back into the theme parks, traveling again. Just tremendous news on all the fronts. So all positive moving forward. However, that loss still very much felt, still very much the wake of all of the trouble that we have felt for the last year, and continues to rear its ugly head, probably will for quite a while to come. So we move along from that unfortunate and unsettling reality realization of news to some good news, and that is that the annual pass holder program, well, we are going to see it for the Disneyland Resort before the end of 2021.
Hopefully.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Hooray.
Brady McDonald of the Orange County Register has reported that Disneyland will not launch a new membership program this year to replace the annual pass program that was canceled in January out of concern that demand by 1 million pass holders could overwhelm the parks once they reopen following a year-long coronavirus closure. Disneyland Resort President Ken Potrock said on the D23 Inside Disney podcast that the new membership program for the Anaheim theme parks will be launched this year. He said, quote, "We're working on that right now, and we will clearly be launching something before the end of the year. It's going to be an exciting program that people, our biggest fans, quite honestly, our most loyal fans, I think are going to be very
We've
responsive
been
to.
acknowledged.
Yeah. We're not just legacy pass holders anymore. Yes, yeah. He knows that we are the most loyal of fans. He also says that we thought this was a great opportunity for us to reimagine the annual pass program that wasn't just built on the last couple of decades, but was built on how our guests and our fans want to use the parks. We know, Sabina, that the Disneyland Resort did send out several surveys to current or legacy pass holders, people that have been annual pass holders, to ask, what do you want out of an annual pass? What specifically is important to you? And he's saying now that they are compiling all that information and the new program will be based off all of the feedback. I think that's tremendous news. I just anticipate whatever program they're going to put in place, probably going to be a fortune in which to buy into.
Definitely. Bracing myself already. The only thing I do hope is that whatever legacy pass holders have spent already on going to the parks as far as admission prices go, that we will be able to apply it toward this new program as we have in past years. It was always like, if you bought a ticket within the year, you could apply that toward an annual pass. So fingers crossed.
That would be nice.
That would be very nice.
Absolutely.
I'm just so ecstatic and excited. I definitely was very I had a lot of mixed feelings when they got rid of the annual passes, and just the idea of definitely the conversations of like, what if they never come back?
Yep.
Terrifying. But, I think that this is the right thing to do. I like that they're seeing as capacity increases that, we are a very loyal group.
Yeah.
And I saw so many legacy pass holders at opening day and making plans for May the 4th and making plans for their birthdays. I'm included in that, making plans for the birthdays, in Avengers Campus coming up. So yes. I think that they see that we are more than willing to just jump back in.
Absolutely, yeah. 50%. It's estimated that more than 50% of daily attendance came from annual pass holders, and as somebody who has worked at Disneyland and has been a part of that experience for well over a decade, I can tell you that the majority of the people that I ever saw in the parks were people I saw repeatedly, hanging out every day, just enjoying themselves, and you knew they were annual pass holders because you got to know them like community members. They were in your neighborhood every day. So they definitely are a big piece of the capacity puzzle. Care to venture a guess as to when you think that announcement will happen? He says by the end of the year. You think they're going to hold out all the way until December?
Oh my goodness. I hope that this is a October, November announcement, because some holiday gifts could be these annual passes, just saying. But if they hold out to the end of the year, I will be so stressed out. I will be like, I don't want any Christmas gifts. Just, I have this GoFundMe, I don't know if I'm going to be paying for this annual pass in just one lump sum. Right. So I need to prepare for that.
Yeah. Will there be a payment plan? Will it be a $5,000 down payment? I mean, who knows at this point what the annual pass holder program is going to be. At any rate, we are thrilled to hear that not only are theme parks back open, but that we are also seeing an annual pass holder program in motion. Right, will be announced before the end of 2021. Let us know in the comments section. Are you as amped up as we are when it comes to Disneyland theme parks being back in demand, being back in a way in which we can finally visit again? Let us know in the comment section. We always look forward to your perspective. And if you are as pumped as we are, make sure to give the video a big thumbs up too.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.